Storage can be beautiful, but when you go out and buy all the baskets, the bins, the trays, the labels, before you have a true understanding of how you actually use your space, you're gonna end up spending more money and still feeling frustrated. So hi, I'm Jonay and welcome back to Make Room. This series is all about helping you see your home differently and creating spaces that truly work for your life. And in today's episode, we're gonna talk about how you can really make sure the storage is working for you, not against you. So let's get into it. First up, you have to edit before you store. As organizers, we are used to this process of coming into people's houses, and when we get there, the first thing people think is that we're showing up with the baskets, the bins, the acrylic trays to go ahead and start putting stuff together. But before we can do anything like that, before we would even purchase something for the home, we have to do our editing process. This is where we're gonna walk through the space with the client, try to get rid of some items, donate some items, and then everything that's gonna stay, we're taking assessment of that. We're counting the amount of shirts and shoes. We're looking at how many plates and cups and anything for the space that we're working in. We have to go through that editing process, trying to remove some items. Then we see what's left, and then we decide how we're gonna store it and where we're gonna store it. So the editing process is key. You can't really fix what you have if there's already a lot of excess. Next up, you have to design storage around your actual habits. Most storage systems are gonna fail because you're trying to plan them for this ideal version of who you want to be, this very Pinterest perfect, or if I have all these cute basket and bins, I'm now going to use them all the time. Whereas you really need to design storage around your actual habits. Mess usually happens where our habits already exist, and whenever you're fighting that, you're fighting something that's already intuitive to you that's in the space. So instead, you want to start building storage systems around how you already use your space. So if you're the type of individual where you always come in and just drop your keys and kick your shoes off, well, that's a great opportunity to add a tray on the side table of sorts and maybe adding some storage solutions for your shoes so they're not just scattered everywhere. Or if you're the type of person who throws your clothes on the chair in the corner of your room, well, clearly you're not using that chair to sit on. So instead, maybe it's time to take that item out of the space and add a different solution there. Maybe that is where we add a really cute basket or bin or some clothes storage there. So that way, if that's your habit, that's what you do, you're now throwing it in an area that it has a solution for it. It doesn't have that piled up look, and it's intuitive with how you already function in the space. Next, you need to group first and contain second. Now, this is definitely a play off of what we already do in our organizing sessions. So going back to what I mentioned earlier, once we come in and we've done the assessment of what's gonna stay in the space, our next process is grouping. We wanna group those like items. So in a closet space, maybe we're grouping your casual clothes versus your formal attire, your dressy shoes versus your sneakers and kicks. And if we're in a kitchen space, same thing. What are the items that we use on a regular basis, like our plates, our daily cups, and then our hosting pieces or that one specialty tool that you use to make soup once a year, that can be on a higher shelf or in a different area. That grouping process is really important because it's gonna let us know how much we have, and if we decide to add some storage solutions, we then know what size bin, what size container we need to be able to contain everything properly. And this grouping process can be applied to every single space in your home. Garage spaces, office spaces, closets, pantries. Actually, let's talk about pantries. A lot of times people want to bring in all of the clear bins and baskets, and that's great, but if you're not the individual that wants to spend a lot on those organizing solutions, doing the grouping method will be just as effective. If you group your dry foods, your canned foods, your seasonings, anything like that in your pantry, that is going to look really nice. It's going to be very intuitive to, again, whenever you need to grab something quickly, whenever you need to restock, figure out what you need to add to the pantry. It's going to look great, but it's also, if you want to take it further and decide to go the containment route, you'll again know how much you have and where it is and what you need to contain. This grouping process also works really, really well if you have kids, especially young children. In a bedroom or a playroom space, when you start going through all the items with your child and you start pulling out things that are similar. So our dolls, our trucks, our art supplies, and then grouping all of those accordingly and creating containment for them, whether that be bins or baskets, it's gonna help them learn where everything goes and also where to put it back at the end of the day. So just a note to share as well. The next way storage could be working against you and not for you is that you have too much open storage. Open storage, open shelving requires a lot of visual responsibility, but when anything is closed off behind a door, tucked away somewhere, it's a lot of visual relief. So if you're the type of person that has implemented a lot of open shelving in your space, this may be a really great time to take assessment of that. If that process is too overwhelming, it's too much trying to keep it organized, keep it dusted, cleaned off, that may be a moment where you might want to make a replacement and start implementing some closed storage options that are going to give you some more relief. They're more easy to manage and you are able to kind of tuck some stuff away. Which also brings us into our next point is that maybe you're not utilizing vertical storage. So let's say you've realized that, okay, I do have too much open shelving. I need to add some more closed storage. Where do I add it? Or maybe you just need more storage in general. A lot of times, think up. If you're a homeowner and you have those open gaps above your kitchen, that might be a really great opportunity to invest in some more cabinets that could be added there, or even adding some baskets at the top, which can look really stylish, but be able to help you hide away some other items, give you some more storage. And if you're somebody that's renting, IKEA is a great resource. Their Betsa cabinets are such a great option because they give you so much versatility of how they can be styled. They can really fit a lot of different design styles and aesthetics, but they also can be mounted quite easily and they're renter friendly. All right, now I am gonna throw like a little asterisk in there from my last point because I also think utilizing vertical storage for open shelving can look really nice, especially if you are the person that can handle the maintenance of it. If you're able to do the visual responsibility of keeping it organized, keeping it styled, adding shelving up high for your books, your plants, different things like that, gives you more storage, but can also be a great design element for your space. Another way that you can make sure that your storage is working for you and not against you is by adding furniture that already has storage solutions. These are things like the ottomans where the top can come off and you can add blankets and pillows in them. If you have a banquette in your dining area that you could add some pull-out storage to for more pots and pans. The list can go on and on, so I'm gonna add some more examples in the caption, so definitely check that out. But it also brings me to my next point, which is maybe you're not utilizing under bed storage. Even if you don't have a bed that has the built-in drawers, right now there are a lot of great options for sliders that can be added under your bed. Now, when you're thinking about this could be things like clothes, your seasonal items, or it could be some things that you just don't use on an everyday basis. Could be great to be stored under your bed. And then finally, the last way that your storage may be working against you is that you're trying to give every single item in your home prime real estate, and it doesn't deserve it. When I think about my seasonal items, I love to put them in back storage, or maybe I put them at the top of my closet because I know I'm not using them for that time of the year. If you have a garage space, that is a great option to be able to switch items in and out of your home seasonally. But also, I think it's really important that the things that you use on a regular basis, those are the things that need to be within arm's reach and have storage for them. But the things that you occasionally use, you need to give it a little bit of effort to get to them. Those are the things that can be stored higher, on a top shelf, the top of your closet, tucked a little further away, or maybe in a garage or an additional storage space. But the things that you use on a regular basis, those are the ones that we need to really be thinking about. How can I access them? How can I make sure that it's in a space where I know where it's at, it's intuitive, it works within my habits, I have it stored properly, and I know that I can get to it. If this episode helped you see storage differently, then go ahead and subscribe to our channel. You don't want to miss what's coming up next in our Make Room series. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, you know what, this is great, but I need a little bit more help organizing or creating systems that really work for my life, go ahead, check out our caption. Our details are there, and we're always here to help. Next up, we're going to be talking about how to make any room feel finished. And for that one, we're getting into some design elements. So until the next one, bye.